Was good, ski. Um, yeah, this is kind of like a part two to the last video where it was they they want to basically throw. He basically said disloyal Americans into camps. Uh, and in all actuality, I mean, it's like, how did the terrorism thing get turned into disloyal Americans? Just like, when did every crime become somehow an act of terrorism? The way that they're going and redefining and labeling things and making a big deal out of little things, like, listen, like free speech, like freedom of religion, things like this. They're making a real big deal out of that, but then they're brushing aside other big deal things like redefining marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they've redefined it. What they did was they undefined the way it used to mean. Now it's more inclusive to where you can marry ducks and robots and whatever. It's just weird like that. But the disloyal Americans, okay? What's a disloyal American? Well, it's see, here's the thing. I love America. This is where I come from. Listen, I am a Michigander. I'm a I'm a I'm Chippewa, I'm an American, and I've been okay with being an American. It's like it's the part of America that I dislike is the American corporation. You know what I'm saying? The corporation, anything that's attached to corporation, because the corporate merger is, listen, the Nazis could have, when it works towards corporations, Nazis could go and buy the stock of your company and then would still have your name, which would be, think about it, America. The name, they bought the name, but different people own it. So, listen, I don't owe them people nothing. You know what I'm saying? And America's founded on being able to speak your mind. As long as you're not, doing anything unjust or uncalled for, that's just, this is where we come from. This is real talk territory. It used to be anyway, but now they've redefined it, and they're trying to make people buy into that. These things are true. You know what I'm saying? Things that ain't true, they're trying to redefine them. You know what I'm saying? Because in all actuality, who is a disloyal American? Someone who sells out America for the corporation. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they're trying to say is loyalty, is selling out to the New World Order, global government. And listen, just look into all the trade agreements, how they send all the jobs overseas. You know what I'm saying? And fuck everyone, and then blame it on us. And then I just seen a video the other day by Adam 1984, and it's called how that the Vatican has infiltrated the labor unions. And here's the thing. The Nazis were started by the National Socialist Workers Party. I don't know how many times I have to say this, and how they create these artificial scarcity, these bubbles, these things like this, these intentional stock market crashes, and then they know there's going to be backlash and people are going to be angry, and then they're banking off that and capitalizing on that, and they're using these people's anger and hostility towards the engineered crisis back on the people that they want to target. Listen, people that are not who are innocent. It's just they need someone to demonize. And we see this going on right now with disloyal Americans need to be taken to internment camps like they did in World War II with the Japanese. And then he was trying to say, I mean, personally, I mean, neo-Nazi, they let neo-Nazis go and gather and do their thing out here. I don't know what this guy's talking about. No one ever rounded them types up and put them in camps. So, and listen, a disloyal American is such a broad term, dude, that anyone could be labeled that. By what is the definition of that? That's just a broad, vague term. That could mean anyone. You know what I'm saying? Just like, basically, it's like political. Wait, what is it? Political schizophrenia. That's like basically in communist Russia, anyone who disagreed with the current political structure was labeled political schizophrenic. Disloyal American, political schizophrenic. I mean, listen, I love the land here. You know, I love the people. You know, I love the some of the tradition. You know, I like the history. I mean, history ain't all good. It ain't all bad. It's just history. It is what it is. And I love this place, and that's one of the reasons I'm always trying to keep it on the real, on the truth, is because you gotta know what's what, man, in order to make decisions, man, and what to base your the things you believe in. What if they're based on something that ain't true? You know what I mean? So there's all these people out here that are so opinionated and have such such devotion to these belief systems that they really don't even, they're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? It's like uh, it's like you wonder, how people get swept up in this stupid ass shit. Like, and they're using these ISIS people that we know that we got video of them making videos on green screen. You know what I'm saying? So, we know that they're connected to the fucking intelligence, and in the whole 9/11 being fake, all this shit, dude. It's all connected. Osama getting thrown in the river, then SEAL Team 6 uh, disappearing in a helicopter crash. But think about it. I mean, does SEAL Team 6 really even exist? Is it, or are they just like the guys who supposedly went down in the plane crash and they found all their IDs, but then people are saying they're having dinner with their families over wherever they were from? Same thing with these guys. In Operations Northwoods, they said they would have a mock plane crash that was shot down by, they said it was Cuba, but it really wasn't. It was just, they're going to say it was Cuba. And they would even have mock funerals. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you wonder why, I don't believe in half the shit, the official stories, it's because, there's just their own documents, show you some of the things they've researched, some of the plans, their evil plans that they have made. And that isn't the American government. This is the shadow government. This is the corporate entity. Like, if the American government is bricks, then these corporate shadow entities are the mortar that keeps these bricks in place. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people like to point out the brick, but they don't pay too much attention to the mortar. And each brick is kind of separate from each other, but the mortar connects them all. That's your secret society, man. That's the threads of the evil agenda. And and they're connected to every brick, but each brick is incrementally away from the other brick. So each brick can't really it doesn't even know its connection to the other brick, but it has to go through the mortar. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good kind of analogy on how they got this whole structured out, man. And this is all playing into it. The real disloyal Americans are any who have given over to the New World Order, the global government. That truly is a disloyal American, because they have given up sovereignty to the point where you can't even make a say either way. So you are the true traitor. You are the sellout. And these sellouts get to declare who is a loyal American and who is not. You know what I'm saying? That's big trouble time. This is crazy town. It's just basically, they can make up anything they want at this point. I mean, if they're already gotten away with this much, and there's not a lot of backlash, not a lot of checks and balance going on, just more imbalance, ordo ab chaos, straight trickery, double speech, double think. I mean, it's deep out here, but I mean, it's just so blatant. But it is really, man. I mean, it's not. Listen, it's not ignorance at this point. At this point, it's either you're complacent in it or you're just so apathetic about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, there's plenty of informed people out there. Look, the documents out there, but the apathy, how can you get through people's apathy? People just don't give a fuck, or they feel to the point, I can't, they will marvel who make war with the beast. That's the same type of mindset, when people just say, fuck it. I can't beat them, might as well join them. That's the real enemy, because it's at this point it's hard to be ignorant. You know, it takes so much energy to be ignorant. So it's got to be a different culprit, which is apathy. But then on the other side of that, you got the people who are in agreement with the beast. They are in agreement with the kingdom of hell. They are in agreement with Ordo Ab Chaos. You know what I'm saying? And they pretend that they're just ignorant. You know what I'm saying? But they're not. They're really just sandbagging for the op, for the psychological op, because they're trying to win the hearts and minds over of people so that they can get you believing 2 + 2 = 5. Then you're eating out of their hand. You know what I'm saying? When they ask you the question, hey, what's 2 + 2 equal? And then when you say 5, they know you're one of them. You know what I'm saying? Basically, whether you're just saying 5 when you know it's 4, or you're just so brainwashed and backwards that you think 2 + 2 = 5. You know what I'm saying? There's two kinds of that answer goes two ways. There's those who know it's 4, but they just say 5. But there's also those who are really that brainwashed that they believe it's 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. But yeah, be ready for some kind of persecution. And once again, this seems like they are flipping the energy of these green screen beheading videos. You know what I'm saying? And then turning it on self-radicalized American terrorists. When what self-radicalized American terrorists? You know what I'm saying? All I've seen is a bunch of psyops and hoaxes. I mean, you can go right down the line and find the connections. I mean, even to Columbine. Them kids, their parents were both high up in the military mind control game. And then you can see that was gun control. The New World Order needs all disarmament, and that is a disloyal American. Listen, if you really cared about America, you would go and arm everyone and tell them be on standby in case ISIS comes or whoever, the Chinese, the Russians. We would all be, working together to keep them out of our country, so we can reserve our sovereignty and our right to have representative government. That's part of the being a republic, that the people have they're supposed to be the main focus of the whole government, but it's switched around now. It's almost like you have to sacrifice yourself to the government, or you're a disloyal citizen, which that's just Moloch. That's just a sacrifices to Moloch. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you have to sacrifice yourself to Moloch. And they want you to think that's freedom and that's patriotic and that's your duty, when it just shows you, like, it's like Huxley said, man, they will love their servitude. I mean, that's the only way. You'd have to be totally fucking brainwashed and just straight up programmed, trauma-based, chemical, peer pressure groups, secret society initiations, and all these different, all this different programming, deeper levels of programming. And you got to be put into play, either the left or the right pillar. You know what I'm saying? The cowboy or the Indian, the Crip or the Blood, the cop or the robber. You know what I'm saying? The Democrat or the Republican. You know what I'm saying? You see this stuff played out over and over and over again. And now it seems like, I heard him say, like, maybe it's potential that they're using Donald Trump. Like, anyone who votes for Trump is going to get thrown into the fun camps because they won't factionalize with the left or right. It's kind of like Divergent. That's exactly what that movie was saying, that anyone who will not factionalize is deemed enemy of the state. So that's basically what you got going on with this self-radicalized homegrown terrorism, because there was never even no homegrown terrorism until after the false flag of 9/11. And it's just crazy how, just look at false flag terrorism. I mean, really just unbiasedly look into it, look at the documents, look at the allegations, look how the term conspiracy theory was used as a derogatory term after Kennedy was assassinated. And he was assassinated. And what the official story is not what happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know that official story is it's full of shit. There's just too much. It's too convenient. It's all you need to know sometimes. When things are too convenient, they probably are.